I think this is what's going to happen on Saturday.
I will be taking Colorado State minus 9.5. And again, if this quarterback doesn't cover the spread, you've got to go to State Farm.
This game's going to soar over. I'm telling you right now, final score is going to be 38-34.
Welcome back to week 8 of the Coin Toss, the best college football betting show in the world. This is my flu game. Dude, I'm fighting for my life over here.
Literally your flu game.
I've never been more sick in my life, but guess what? I'm here and we're going to get it done.
Hard.
Should I tell you about the things I learned this weekend in college football?
Please do.
Other than drowning? LSU owns me. That school owns me. Yeah. I don't know what Cliff Kingsbury thinks he's building over there, but 11 seconds left. And then Kyron Lacey. Yeah. That school owns me. That's why I had to wear the polo. They own me.
Yeah, not great.
Dylan Gabriel in big games is just horny.
Try to tell the people.
I don't know what it is about him in a small game, but whenever the big game happens, that kid turns into literally prime Pat Mahomes. Mm-hmm. The Texas State Fair is horrible. However,
Dude.
The University of Texas is underrated on defense.
Thank you.
That's what I learned.
Wow.
Those are the three biggest things I
dude.
learned. Texas State Fair, I'm never doing that again.
Not great. I'll be honest with you.
Hot, sweaty, uncomfortable.
Not great. I will segue that into the Thorns and Roses from this week, starting with the Thorns, as always. Start with Billy Bowman for OU. F that guy, dude. Whoa. He said Texas was basically gifted a win, which I think is crazy. If you watch that game, you know that's just not the case. And there's plenty of highlights of him just looking like he's on a slip and slide on the field. Terrible football player. That was my only Thorn. But for my Roses, I have 2 of them. Let's start with Dan Lanning. Him intentionally having 12 guys out on the field so it would run off the time, I guess, like the penalty. Genius move. Didn't even know you could do that.
Big brain.
Led into a win. Big brain move. And then my last one, Quintravian Wisner for Texas. Quinn kind of looked rocky as we saw this past weekend, but he looked like a dog. He's here. And keep your eye out on Trey Wisner.
Let's fucking go. That was a crazy game. Oh.
Great game.
Let's go. That was a crazy game.
Great.
That was a crazy game. That was a crazy game.
Crazy game.
Felt like that was the game we thought you guys were going to have last year.
Yeah.
And then doubled the performance you thought of last year, had it this year.
People forget I almost sniped the score perfectly, but...
Did you really?
Yeah, my bad. I thought they would score a touchdown.
Yeah, that was tough.
How can they say that you were gifted a win when they can't even score 7?
I wish I could tell you, Rav.
That's
Couldn't
insane.
I wish I could tell you. But it is what it is. We won.
Before we go to the Rav Report, should we talk about new segment alert? Sound the alarms. Oh my God, the ground is shaking. My bones are rattling. Your favorite future, quick fire. Or an update on the forgotten episode, the lost episode, week 1 episode where we gave our favorite futures.
Yes.
Favorite future, Michigan State is going to win 5 games. I'm going to stand on it. I'm going to stay on it. I'm in love with it. I'm making out with it. Michigan State is winning 5 games.
What are they at right now? How many wins?
3.
Dude, okay.
Need
Yeah.
2 more.
My future was the Michigan under win total. I think it was at 9.5. Soaring under. Love it still.
My future was Miami to win the ACC, and although it went off to a really hot start, Clemson is scaring the shit out of me. I'm just going to say it. They're scaring me, but I am confident that my Hurricanes, I can't believe I even said that, my Hurricanes can get it done and win the ACC and take the 3 seed in the playoff, which is nuts.
My Hurricanes. It makes me sick, dude.
How many teams does Rav have, man?
Yeah, dude.
They're not really my Hurricanes. I just
turn it
bet
into
on them to win the conference, right?
It's unbelievable. Well, I also am in the ACC, so now Cal over 6 wins, which now they start getting into the super soft part of their schedule for the next couple weeks. So I'm feeling good. I think they're winning 7.
Let's go.
Listen, I do want to say one thing, though.
Yeah.
Utah may be down in the dumps, okay? But I think that the Isaac Wilson was always the answer for them at quarterback. Obviously, Cam Rising looked like shit against my Sun Devils. They have, I think, a manageable schedule to somehow make it to the championship game with 2 losses still and maybe even win still. And it's like very long odds. Like it'd take a lot. But I think giving Utah a look to win the Big 12 would be profitable.
I just want to say again, just Rav not standing on business. Arizona State looks phenomenal. And instead of talking about maybe Arizona State,
talk about them
Big
going
12,
to the Big 12
talking about Utah.
He's trying to explain himself with the Utah.
This is why The fraud watch was great.
No. In Rav's defense, though, he did talk about Utah winning the Big 12, so he's standing on business in that way.
But we're talking about sneak Big 12 winners.
Yeah. Why don't
And
you
Arizona
gas up?
State looks phenomenal.
Mike, I'm so sick of your bullshit. You know, if I stuck with Pitt money line last week, I would have had an extra win on the Rav Report. But they won by 2 actually, not 3.
Now it's my fault.
No, it is your fault.
But we would have a lot of wins if we just ate 3 points each week.
Yeah.
Fine.
You know what I mean?
If we could
Minus
just take
160 juice.
Minus 180s, just. the entire
160,
season.
150.
What,
We'd
we
be
take
good.
minus 175?
No.
Come on. No way I just got blamed for that.
No, you did.
There's actually no way I just got blamed for that.
Rob, I felt like you were into it when we said take the -3. Like you,
No, I was. I thought they'd win by more than 3, but they didn't.
I didn't.
I would also like to point out he did say Eli Holstein Heisman, and he threw 2 of the most horrendous picks I've ever seen in college football.
Well, it was a low-scoring defensive affair.
Shout out to Pick, shout out Rav. No way you just blamed me for that. Rav, give me the Rav report. What happened last week? Are we goated? Are we not? I know my whale did not hit, unfortunately, because Ole Miss shit down their leg.
We did go 3-1 on Wales. Mike, you went 12-13. LC 6-5.
Wait, what?
Yeah, 12-13. Do you
Wow.
know why you went
I thought I
12-13?
went like 9-17.
Dude,
Well,
you take
because
that.
in the Oregon game, you hit like 5 of your 6 bets.
Why don't you run me through that?
Tez Johnson, anytime touchdown.
Yep.
Judkins touchdown.
Yep.
Dylan Gabriel rushing touchdown.
Yep.
Oregon team total over 24.5.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
that was a great one.
Oregon plus 3.5. And you lost Evan Stewart first touchdown.
That was almost half of my wins in one game. I had 12 wins. You just put up 5 fingers.
So all your losses were like the actual.
I
okay.
literally had a horrible day.
That
That's
game
a
saved you.
horrible
This is
day.
volume
That game
2.
saved
This is prime
Yo,
James Harden.
wow. That is a horrible day.
Yeah.
That's how you get it
5
back.
out of the 12 were in one game.
That's why you
insane.
fire.
People forget also I got chirped for giving 5 touchdowns in one game. Dylan
That was
Gabriel rushing.
crazy. That was
Sharp.
Yeah, that
You
was
almost
so
smacked all of
sharp.
them.
Sharp as
It was like a 30-yard run, too, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
LC
else
6-5.
Let's go, dude.
I mean, we take it.
Take
I mean, we
those,
take
take
it.
those.
Did hit your well of Texas.
Yeah, that was there.
Javon, you were 4-5, but you did hit your well of Iowa. That was a wag.
That was wag.
Early slate wag.
Yeah.
I went 9-4 last week, and that's a bounce back.
Saved himself for last.
John, bro.
What was your biggest win, Rav?
Probably LSU, honestly,
Yeah, that was a great call.
or USC.
I liked Ole Miss.
That was a good call.
Thanks. Nice,
Kind
nice
of got lucky,
polo.
but it is what it is.
Not a big game, they lost. All right, should we move to some games?
It was
Talk some
totally a
ball.
big game.
Let's do
Get
it.
weird. We open up our slate. The Nebraska Cornhuskers are walking into Indiana at plus 6.5 underdogs. The over-under is 50.5. Lauren, in what I think people would have suspected a preseason Big Ten game to not mean as much as it does right now, possibly
Yeah.
one of the biggest games the Big Ten is going to see this year. What do you do?
I think I'm going to back Rourke in the spot at home. This Indiana team, they're the truth. So
Truth.
I will be taking Indiana, and I also do like the under.
I feel like this is a perfect under spot,
I agree.
which is why I'm taking the over 50.5.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm going to tell you why, though. I've watched every Indiana game because I've been big on Indiana.
You have?
I've watched every Nebraska game. I'm big on Nebraska. The one thing that Rourke struggles with is turning the ball over. He likes to take shots. This Indiana team, they have a fun offense, and they like to throw the ball deep. Nebraska has some good corners on them.
Yeah.
And I think there's going to be some turnovers in some spots that Indiana shouldn't be turning the ball over. And I think Dylan Raiola might have better field position because of the mental errors that Rourke still makes in the Big Ten. So I think you're going to get points. And I also just can't pick a side because they're both my wagons.
I respect that so
So
much.
I'm just going to take the over, 50.5.
They are both wags.
What do I do here?
I don't know
You
what to
take
do
the
either.
over.
Like, what do I do?
Like, you're just happy to see both teams score.
But do I take Nebraska and be like, all right, if Nebraska covers, then I get an Indiana win and a Nebraska cover? Like, I don't know what to do there. When you got 2 wags.
If you were to flip a coin, and that coin was in the air, coin
Do it.
toss.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
coin
coin
toss.
toss.
Somebody
Coin
give me a
toss.
coin. Let's flip this in.
Oh my gosh. Dude, you're flipping
flip
this
this
in?
I'll flip this in. I'll
Dude, I
flip
knew
this in.
this thing would come useful.
All right, you pick the side. What is what?
All right, so this is going to be heads.
Okay.
This is going to be Nebraska.
Okay, the front of the Zin, Nebraska. This is Indiana.
Correct.
Okay, the coin toss. Shout out. Here we go. Wow. So is that Indiana?
Wait, what did I say?
I think that's Indiana.
All right, Indiana minus 6.5 in the over. Shout out.
Wait,
the
did
coin
I
toss.
say heads?
Yeah.
Nebraska?
What did she say?
Shoot, what did I say?
No, so the front's Indiana, the back's
Nebraska. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Indiana minus 6.5 and the over. Shout out to coin toss.
Wow. That's how,
Indiana.
that's how you do it.
Indiana. And you like Indiana.
I love Indiana.
All right, we're riding.
Yeah.
Gentlemen.
I'm just gonna go with the under. That's really all I took from doing this beginning for preparing for this. Indiana hasn't really played a really solid defense like Nebraska. I thought that Maryland, like a couple weeks back, would be their first big defensive test, and they torched Maryland. I think this game goes under. I think Nebraska keeps Curtis. It is Curtis, right? Curtis Rourke. Curtis Rourke.
This is why I'm out on it.
Yeah, this has to be a bit. Yes,
Curtis
it's
Rourke.
Curtis. Yes, it's Curtis, Rat. I just called you Rat.
I thought it was like Kurt or
I just called
for
you
some reason.
fucking Rat, Rav.
Fucking whatever.
Dude, Rav made me second guess myself. I was like, I know Rourke.
Anyways,
Anyways.
What does that notebook?
it's going under. I'm not flipped to the Indiana page.
Tell me what you have written down for Indiana.
All right.
I cannot believe we don't know his name. God fucking damn it, Rav.
You want to hear?
I actually do. Can I guess? Quietly, good morning.
Yeah, go ahead. Okay, what part do you want to hear?
The offense.
New HC Kurt Signetti has offensive background, explosive through air, has built reputation as quarterback whisperer, brought over entire offensive staff from JMU. Curtis Rourke has ability to thrive in read option, has strong arm and is mobile. Signed 8 skill players out of portal.
Didn't get returning production or a good run game. All right, but you like the under.
Yes.
Okay.
Thrive.
This is the first real defense they've played.
I just heard thrive and read option. It threw me for a loop. You want to know how many rushing yards Curtis Rourke has this year? 44. And that's in 5 or 6 games.
Well,
actually.
then they had to switch their offensive strategy before the season because that was a preseason.
I bet. But Rav was onto something. This is the first defense that they've gotten to play that's actually worth a shit. So, I mean, they've scored 41, 42, 52, 42, 77, and 31, all against Moose Piss defenses. So, for that reason, they're going to get smacked in the mouth. Give me Indiana team total under 28.5.
Wow.
I kind of like that pull out of you, dude.
I like that pull too.
I like that pull out of you, dude. Is this not Dylan Rhodes' first really big road game as well? I think they had Rutgers at home.
They did have Rutgers at home.
If you want to count like Colorado, right?
Oh, that home.
That was at home.
Oh, that was at home.
They had Wisconsin. I know it was last year.
So,
No, not really.
yes, I mean, it is.
This is definitely his first
Purdue
big
doesn't
game.
count.
No,
Purdue
that
is
does
just
not
definitely
count.
Big first big
Definitely
road
does not
game, too,
count.
for the true freshman.
Yeah.
Indiana in the over.
Indiana in the under.
Everybody likes the under. I'm gonna go right. Indiana and the over. Wow, this is gonna be such a good game.
Or not.
But why is that over under so high? That feels high. Does that not feel high?
I mean,
Got a higher over under.
Indiana's almost gone over that themselves. at the
Yeah,
end of this year.
I mean, no. I'd say it's where it should be.
Only
I
a
think it's
touchdown
real.
less than Bama, Tennessee.
And Georgia, Texas. Anyways. Yeah.
Indiana in the over. Shout out to coin toss.
Yep.
I'm actually gonna flip this in for every single game.
You
in
should
the
do
big
that.
games because
Honestly.
I feel like I haven't been able to pick a big game right
Yeah.
once this year.
Okay. Be my
I'm gonna
guess.
flip. I'm gonna do coin
is
toss.
yours.
Coin toss segment. I'm gonna flip this in for every single big game.
All right.
Speaking of big games, Michigan is -3. Do we want to talk about that game?
Soft.
Not even a little.
So soft.
Not even a little
we
bit.
don't.
We don't want to talk about that.
We were not talking about Michigan.
No, we don't want to talk about that.
It's going to
rat
be
shit
6
game.
to 9.
Rat.
Terrible game.
Rat.
Terrible.
We ain't moving because I'm adding to the platter. Michigan ain't losing that game.
If I wanted
I do
to,
agree with that, but
if I wanted to rip my eyeballs out and bang my head against the wall on a Saturday, I'd put this game on.
yeah. Or a good nap.
Or a good nap.
Little nap game.
This is a good nap game.
Yeah.
Good nap game. Wake up, see if your other bets hit, knowing that this game didn't matter.
Yeah.
Good nap game. Speaking of no nap games, Alabama is walking into Tennessee as a 2.5-point favorite. The over-under is 56.5. Alabama has impressed in some spots. Alabama has disappointed in some spots as of late.
Yeah.
And they are 2.5-point favorites going into Tennessee. Lauren, This is going to be the group chat game of the weekend. What is your play?
I really want to back Bama so bad, but even when I thought about taking Tennessee, they're going to have to show me a little bit more before I can back them. But what I do like in this game is points. So give me the over.
I also want the over. I'm going to flip
Yeah,
the
come on, that was too easy.
Here we go. Bama, Tennessee.
Okay.
Bama, Tennessee.
Yes.
Wow, bam. Bama's a max play and the over.
You just get one flop out of it.
Yeah, that literally did one rotation. That wasn't even like impressive.
Oh, see.
Shit!
All right, I can't bet the game. I can't bet the game.
That means just stick with
I can't
the over.
bet the game.
That means just take the over.
I can't bet that game.
There's no.
I don't think I could do that again if
No.
I fucking tried.
No.
I can't bet the game. What are you doing?
just do that?
What are you doing? That's oh,
No, it's, the over.
that is insane.
That's crazy. No, if I give you 1,000 more tries, there's no way you do that again.
That is insane. Wow.
Caught on camera.
That was better than the bottle flip trend.
Yeah.
That was nuts. Over.
Okay.
The over.
Anyways, I would love to know the sharp report on this game. So, Jovan, what are you liking for this one?
I mean, I don't know if it's a very sharp angle, but I've been catching shit week after week for saying Nico ain't that guy. And I faded him last week, and Florida almost beat him outright. He looked horrible in that game. He's looked pretty horrible all season against some teams that aren't really all that good. So I know this ain't your mom and pa's Crimson Tide over there, but I'm going to take them -3. Nico's got to show me.
I agree.
I'm still very undecided on this game. I do love the over, though. Love it. Love the over.
Good.
I really like Nico. Alabama defense has been so bad, but the Tennessee offense has been great. I still like them to find their groove, though, against that defense, so I'm going to stick with the over, and I'm going to add first half spread for Tennessee.
I fucking knew that was coming. I knew that bullshit was coming.
And this time I will not be telling.
I knew that was coming.
Let me
It's
remind
getting
you.
ridiculous.
Let me remind you. In Heupel's 6 years as head coach, his teams are 51-24-2 against the first half spread.
Let me also remind you that Rav added this last week, and they scored 0 points in the first half.
They've actually scored 0 points last 2 weeks.
The
in
week
first
before
half.
that.
Now
No.
let me remind you, Bama first half.
Wow.
Bama first half.
You know,
Bama
now that you're
first
doing
half,
this,
Bama first half, the over, and Bama.
now that you're doing this, I'm going to get it.
Ryan Williams touchdown.
Oh, are we doing this?
5 more?
Squirrel right, touchdown.
Squirrel White. All-time name, by the way.
Touchdown. That is an all-time name.
All-time name.
The only reason I know it.
Dude, I'm kind of feeling a Jalen Milrow rushing touchdown.
Joe Milrow touchdown.
Okay. All right.
Dylan Sampson 2+.
Okay. Now we're getting cute.
So cute.
Now we're getting
I mean, okay. Jeremiah Smith scored for me last week.
Joe Milrow, Ryan Williams, Squirrel White, touchdowns.
I love that out of you.
Alabama first half, Alabama and the over. That's 7 plays in one game, I think.
Yeah, it is.
I feel like I was playing so
But I
safe.
can't say anything because half of your wins from this past week came from the Oregon game. So
And
maybe you run
also,
that back.
Isaiah Bond would have scored if he didn't get hurt.
100%.
And Quinn should
And
have had
if
him on
Quinn-
that first
yeah.
play. That was
a touchdown.
That made my stomach fall out of my butt.
Just want to let you know I was thinking about you.
Like, that should have been a touchdown.
Yeah. That was sickening.
Arch makes that throw. That's all I was saying.
come on. Don't
Every
do
time
that. Don't
Stan
do
ran
that.
me,
Don't put me in that
I was the
spot.
Arch guy. Every time in that first half that Quinn messed up, I was like, all right, time to put Arch in.
Oh, that first quarter,
I'll
you were
be
asking
honest.
questions.
Yeah, the first 3 drives, I was like, at what point do you start getting him up and moving? Because I'm a
I
huge
agree.
Quinn backer. I love Quinn. I will ride with him till the very end. But at what point, like that first quarter, I was like, I don't know what's going on.
I needed Arch like I needed air to breathe.
Good news though, Bond's good. He's healthy.
Wow,
Nicked
is he
his little
really?
ankle, yeah, but he's good. So
Good.
we're chilling.
Good. Also, no point in forcing him back in that game. Shit was over after the 8-minute mark. The biggest game on this weekend slate. The Texas Longhorns are welcoming the Georgia Bulldogs into Austin, Texas on the Dua Lipa weekend. The F1 weekend, and people are saying this is the biggest event that weekend. I will
Correct.
say, Dua Lipa put the Longhorns jersey on.
Shout out her.
Dua Lipa,
Big fan now.
money line. Dua Lipa money line.
Dua Lipa money line.
I would crawl through glass. One sniff.
Oh,
Glass.
just glass for a sniff
Glass.
of
That's
What
fair.
what are you sniffing?
That's fair. I got it. That's
Wow.
fair.
Wow.
I got it. That's fair.
Can't hate on it.
Okay.
Crawl through glass, one sniff. Texas is -3.5 at home. The over-under is 55.5. The question everyone's going to want to know in the comments, the question everyone's going to want to know that watches this show, Lauren, what is the vibe with the Bulldogs coming into Texas?
I think they know what I'm going to say about this game, but I really do believe this is the game. Texas sticks their chest out and lets everyone know that they did belong in the SEC. And this is going to be the game where the Georgia Bulldogs pass the torch to the Texas Longhorns to now be the most dominant team in college football. And, just really quick, I had to write this down, quoted from Kirby Smart, he said, "This Texas team is the most complete team that we've seen or faced this year in probably multiple years." And with that said, there will be no barking going on this weekend.
I will say, before watching the OU game, there was a thought in my head that I didn't think Texas was the best team in the country. That I was like, I don't know, that number one just feels weird seeing it next to that logo.
That's fair.
The only reason why I actually don't even want to flip the 10 is because I think this Texas defense is your best asset you've had in a long time.
I agree.
And I know for a fact Carson Beck is going to fly out that bot twin. And she's going to be in the stands in a Georgia pullover
Yeah.
with Beck on the back. And he's going to throw 3 of those things that go the other way.
Yeah.
Texas -3.5.
God, I love that out of you.
Actually, Texas team total over.
Love
Minus
that out of
3.5.
you. You know I love that out of
Minus
you.
3.5.
What I will say, though, is what makes me believe in this team so much this year is because of our defense. Before, I always felt like our offense had to put up X amount of points to get a win. This year, as you saw last week, even with Quinn struggling, our defense, they just couldn't have played a better game. So it's just like, even if our offense is struggling, I know the defense is going to be there. So, best team in the country.
And as a I want to sound smart when I'm in a big group watching college football, that's always like, God, I hate that play call. God, why didn't we bring the house that play? There was not a single time that Texas, I felt like, called the wrong defense against OU.
Yeah, no.
Like, there wasn't a single time where I
Just
was like,
Hawks.
maybe we bring the house. And they brought the house.
Yep.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I love the play calling as well. Big play calling guy now.
Yeah, good.
At the Jets game, only thing I was bitching about, play calling.
Dude, if you want to sound smart watching college football at least, just say RPO.
Yeah.
Just say RPO.
Hey, can we get the play action going?
Yeah.
Let's run the ball so we can play action.
Ooh, why don't we do like a little RPO? You're
Literally.
Like, what? Okay.
Yeah, if they just ran the RPO here, I think we get a couple more yards
Exactly.
every single set.
Like,
I'm
what?
going to flip the 10 just for the people at home that might be into the tip.
Wait, what was what? What was what?
Texas. The favorite
perfect.
was always heads.
Okay.
And it landed on Texas. Shout out.
Too easy.
6 milligram, wow.
Of course. Rav, I would love to know what the notebook says about this game.
Lauren, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Are you worried that the best quarterback that the Texas defense has faced is Braden Fowler Nicolosi?
No.
Is that the Colorado State kid?
Yes.
That
Okay.
is.
Just want to make sure.
I love the Texas defense, and I think that's what makes them very good. I am worried, though, that they might give up some points, which is why I'm going to take the over in this game. I do think that Texas put up 34 with playing horrible offense. Like, it was like probably a C grade offense
I would
against
say
Oklahoma.
Texas offense, that was a D+.
D plus.
D+.
So there's a lot of
Trey
room for
Wiseman back
improvement.
practice.
Probably against a worse defense, and Texas hasn't played a good quarterback yet, so I will gladly take the over.
But I think important to note, that was a great get the rust off spot for Quinn.
100%.
Because if this was his first game back, I would have been putting a whale on Georgia.
And I wouldn't blame you
Like,
for
he
that.
needed to get back in a rhythm, and that first quarter was the epitome of, like, playing games matters.
Yeah. And I do think this will be a close game. That's why I'm not saying the whole bell to ass. I don't think it's bell to ass. It's going to be a trenches game. But do I think we come out on top? Yeah. Do I know we come out on top? Yeah.
Do you lean over or under?
Probably the over.
Okay.
Because we're going to score.
Over?
And I do think it's hard for me to say they're going to score, but they score.
Okay. I will gladly take the over.
Okay.
I hate collabing with Rav, man. I hate it. Hate it with all my guts. But I'm also on the over. I think that's the best play in this game for me. Not only have they not faced a good quarterback, but the highest offense they've faced in terms of just pure total offense ranking is 71st, which that means they haven't faced any team in the top half of offense in college football. And that 71st rated team is UTSA, who's played a couple FCS teams and really played nobody on their schedule outside of Texas and Texas State. So they're going to give up some points. You're going to find out real quickly. Just like Clemson early in the season when they faced Georgia, their offense looked terrible. They had their wake-up moment. They haven't looked back since. Really, with Georgia, they had a terrible game against Kentucky, the first half against Bama. They haven't stopped really since. So I think they've looked majority better in a lot of their games, and I think that's something that's going to stick. So give me points in this game. And you've also noticed the trend, whether it's Georgia, Bama, Ohio State, Oregon, Penn State, USC, all these massive games in college football, we're seeing points. I don't think that's an accident. So we'll ride with it again.
Speaking of guts, Dua Lipa, I'd crawl through glass. Glass.
That's,
Glass.
you said for a sniff.
Glass.
Not
Glass.
even for her necessarily.
But not the Cavender, though?
Dude, I don't think I think this is the funny part. I don't think they were prepared for SEC ball. Being a girlfriend to an SEC quarterback, that's a nightmare if he's losing.
100%.
Like, that's just the memes that are going to come out about Carson Beck going into this game. Just want to give a warning to the Kavner twins. You're going to want to lock in here.
Yeah.
This is going to get bad. Batten down the hatches. Get ready for Twitter to put on a masterclass.
Dude, because Twitter will be doing that.
It's going to get bad. It's going to get bad. Speaking of bad, Dua Lipa, glass. And now for the best segment of the show where we still remain somehow undefeated, up I did the math, up 5.2 billion units. Whales of the weekend, best bet of the weekend for everyone on here. If you have a favorite personality on the show, this is the bet that you tail. Lauren, I'm going to lead us off.
Please.
Miami, Louisville, give me points. Fill my holes with points. I would put every single toe of Dua Lipa in my mouth.
Oh, okay.
Points. Points.
Okay.
Points.
What kind of whale?
The gray whale. Let me check on that whale. Let me do a check on that whale.
Is that a whale?
That might be a fake whale.
Gray whale.
The bowhead whale. I had a whale looked up, the bowhead whale.
Okay.
I need to change my whale. This feels horrible. Hold on. Didn't like that I didn't know the whale. I'm going to go ahead. Colorado, Arizona, over. Fill my holes with points.
Can I be
There's
honest?
no way you just
I
pivoted
thought
like
this
that.
was going to be your whale. Because how could it not
That
be?
is an insane over-under.
Yeah.
I don't want to bring bad vibes to my whale.
Yeah,
New
no.
whale, New Mexico, Utah State, over. Fill my holes with points. Bowhead whale.
78.5 points.
That's
Crazy.
my whale. Bowhead whale.
Everyone saw it coming. Texas, of course, is my whale. And that is, again, I'm not even trying, like, it's not that I want to use a new whale or anything, but it's a blue whale. It's the biggest it gets. Texas, once again, blue whale.
Blue?
Blue.
Love that out of you.
Yeah.
Jaden Blue.
Jaden Blue.
Touchdown.
The signs.
The signs.
I'm going to go Arkansas +3 as my whale. Wow. Against LSU at home. They're coming off of a bye after beating Tennessee. I think that a lot of people looked at this team at the beginning of the year and thought they were going to be really bad and Sam Pittman could be fired. They've actually turned out a good season so far. They should have arguably beat, I think it was Texas A&M and Jerry World. They should have beat Oklahoma State. They beat Tennessee. And I think LSU might be riding a little too high after their win against Ole Miss. I will gladly take the +3 and find out. Give me Arkansas.
It's Fade Rav week. We got a team who was mosh pitting on Friday after beating a quarterback who couldn't throw the ball. Now they get to go for an early game, noon kickoff, and what is that, 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. body time out there in Arizona?
They're adjusting. They're adjusting.
They're adjusting, I'm sure they are, but they're going to lose. It's Cincy ML. There's a reason they're favored in this game. It's because they're coming down for business. They didn't even play their best game. They played like absolute dog meat last week in Orlando against UCF. Now they get to fix it. Now they get a team that's riding on their high horse, just like we made a business trip to Lubbock the first time Arizona State was dogs. We make one for the second. We're losing this game.
Types.
Beaked whale.
I saw that one in my Google search. Love that out of you. Love that out of you.
Yeah, this is another business trip with one of my futures teams, so it's another orca. This is a
Wow.
cow
Okay.
plus 10.5 type play.
Now that's a false killer whale.
Would you guys mind if I switch my whale one more time?
What?
Maybe
Mike,
just one more time.
You get a fit foe.
What?
You got a FITFO. Figure it the fuck
I
out.
hate the abbreviations.
No, I'm just.
It makes me
I
feel
hate-
so old.
What was that?
It makes me
FITFO.
feel so old. There are some things.
FITFO?
Rav loves a good abbreviation. And
do.
there are
Like,
some
just
things where
say
Rav
that?
says, and I feel like a 9-year-old, where I'm like, I couldn't even put that together if you gave me 50 minutes.
A FITFO.
No,
People
you
say-
have to
I have
FITFO.
never heard of that.
I feel like I came up with a fake whale at Miami, Louisville. Didn't love the Colorado, Arizona over. The other over is 78.5. That's insane. Xavier Restrepo touchdown.
Is your whale.
The whale?
Shut the fuck up.
Oh my.
Whale.
Going on.
Whale.
Okay.
Xavier Restrepo touchdown.
Okay.
And
God.
that is dwarf sperm whale. Look that one up too.
Wow.
You get on me for not standing on business. You can't even figure out a damn whale.
I know. Hey, hand up. Didn't want to botch the whole segment. Feel like I lied on a whale, created a false whale, then rode the highest whale. I'm going to go back in my bag, Restrepo touchdown. And if those
Wow.
odds are terrible, that's my bad. But I don't think they'll be. I think they'll be
That's
around
fine,
like
dude.
minus
Well,
125.
That is what it is.
Restrepo
what it is.
touchdown.
Okay.
Should we get to the honorable mentions?
Let's do it.
The honorable mentions, the part of the show where I take out my shotgun and I go, and I spray the whole board and I end up with 15 losses. Let's start hot. I'm going to make it real quick. Virginia, plus 21.5 going into Clemson. This is my sneak wagon in the ACC. They cover spreads. Missouri minus 5.5. If you can't cover against Auburn, you need to be sent to China. Brady Cook, pack your bags. Miami, Louisville, over. Honorable mention. Was a whale, now an honorable. Kansas, minus 6.5. At home against Houston. I don't understand how this team maybe hasn't covered a single spread all year. I wouldn't
That's
be
crazy.
shocked.
Yeah.
They cover this spread at home. Texas State, minus 9.5 against Old Dominion. Shout out Jordan McLeod. Shout out Jordan McLeod. I have USC underline, not going to do it. Arkansas, plus 3. Honorable mention, shout out the boys, Quinn and Jackson. Go.
Go.
Michigan State, plus 5.5. They're beating Iowa. Last honorable mention, every time you give this team and a short line at home, I'm going to take them. Florida Gators money line at home. Protect the swamp. Everything has been mentioned honorably.
All right, for mine, I have 4. I will be taking Cincinnati minus 2.5.
Wow.
Kansas minus 6.5.
Let's go.
Arizona minus 4. A lot of chalk there, I know. And then I will be taking the Utah State, New Mexico over 78.5 because how could you not?
Add it to my card.
How could you not?
Add that, and
Yeah,
then
come
also add the Arizona Colorado over. 2 more overs.
All right.
Honorably mentioned honorable.
Of course.
I'm going to enter Berg with Jovan. I'll go ASU plus 3. And I'll go ASU money line as well.
Wow.
Fucking coat, dude.
The dub.
I will go South Carolina plus 3 against Oklahoma. I think they could win that. Central Michigan, Eastern Michigan totals at 56.5. Rivalry game at 56.5. Points.
Points.
Give me the over. All right, page flip. Georgia Tech plus 12 against Notre Dame. Sneak upset spot. Western Michigan money line against Buffalo. Buffalo just upset Toledo, which was crazy in the MAC. I don't know if you guys saw that. Bowling Green minus 20.5.
Wow, you're spraying.
Yeah, he's right.
Toledo plus 3. Iowa State minus 13. And the TCU Utah over 49.
Wow. Wow. Rav unloading.
Wow.
Speaking of unloading, never mind. We're not
I
going
don't even want to
No
know.
more Dua Lipa talk.
I was. Speaking of unloading, Dua Lipa.
Yeah.
Glass. Every tell. What an offer.
All 10.
All 10.
All right, honorable mentions. You mentioned the Florida game. I'm going to take the gross over in that game.
Wow, I love that too.
Pulling teeth for both those teams to score last week. You got no Graham Mertz, DJ Lagway's in. Now he's not on the road in Tennessee. I think we get points. This game's always crazy. I think it's going to be again, this time with points. New Mexico, Utah State. I'm taking the under. I'm going to be that guy. I'm going to be that guy. I'm going to pay to find out. That's a crazy amount of points. I've been sneak fading the most obvious over on the board every week. It's been printing. I'll do it with this one. Maryland plus 7 against USC. USC legacy cover, even though they fell apart at the end in overtime in that game. Now they got to go across the country, but they get to face a Maryland team who just lost and got their shit rocked by Northwestern, which is an inexcusable offense. They bounced back this week with a cover. That's what I got for you.
Is that all the honorable mentions?
That's all
I
of
feel like
them.
we're finding our groove.
I think so,
Everyone's
too.
starting to spray a little bit.
Yeah.
Making me feel good inside. Those have been the honorable mentions. As always, please like and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for all the support Sorry about the late drop last week. We've got it figured out. Don't worry. We're dropping it on time this week. Thank you guys again so much for the support. Throw it on at the pregame. Throw it on at the tailgate.
Just throw it on.
Just throw it on.
And tell your friends about it.
Back. What?
Dua Lipa?
Throw it back.
Tell Dua Lipa about it.
Yeah. If you guys get Dua Lipa to watch this episode, I will do next episode in a dress. Like and subscribe. Thank you guys so much. Drop your favorite play in the comments as well. Love you guys. As always, Lauren, close us out.
Make sure you guys check the socials. And as always, thank you guys for watching. See you next week.
We will see you next week.